Hello everybody, now we start our online excursion in our blossoming and noble Bukhara. Now we are staying on one of the main sightseeings of our city. It is Poi Kalon Ensemble.
The ensemble Poi Kalon consists of Mosque Kalon, Minaret Kalon and Madrasa Mir Arab. The complex was built in the period from 12th to 16th centuries and it is one of the most outstanding ensembles of Bukhara. The mosque was originally built in the 12th century from wood by the order of the ruler of Bukhara, Arslan Khan, from the Karahanid dynasty.
The mosque was biggest in Central Asia till 15th century and even nowadays it is one of the biggest functioning mosques in Uzbekistan. The capacity of mosque is about 12,000 people.
During the Mongol invasion, under the leadership of Genghis Khan, the mosque was burned, but in the 14th-15th centuries the mosque was restored from fired bricks. The size of mosque is 130 to 80 meters and it is open type Friday mosque with galleries on two sides, consisting of 288 pillars on which there are 208 domes, to create a specific climate and acoustic effect. Nowadays, in the right front part of the mosque, there is an enclosed part for daily prayers, and on Fridays and during holiday prayers, the mosque is cordoned off to pray for the parishioners. The facade and the interior of the mosque are decorated with amazing mosaics and maiolica. Portals are framed by sacred inscriptions and calligraphy. On the front part of the mosque is the biggest construction of it, from where people gaze and read the homily. It is Maksura. A large dome decorated with turquoise masonry extends above the Maksura. Under it there is a mehrab, a small decorated arch that guides the community as the prayer is read in the direction of Mecca. In Bukhara, namaz is recited towards the southwest. From the inside, the domes were once decorated with patterned, curly masonry different from each other. The mosque is still functioning and is the largest in Bukhara. The Minaret Kalon is the tallest building in the old part of Bukhara. The minaret was also built by the order of Arslan Khan in 1127 according to the project of the famous architect of Bukhara, Usto Bako. According to legend, the purpose of building the minaret was to demonstrate the greatness and majesty of the Khan and his city, Bukhara. They say that when the ruler approved the construction, a foundation pit was dug 10 meters deep. When the foundation was flooded, the architect ran away. After that, the Khan announced the award and ordered to find the architect. 3 years later, the architect returned to Bukhara and arrived at the palace. When the Khan ordered him to explain why he ran away and why he returned, because he knew that he would be executed, the architect replied, "If I had stayed in the city, you would have made me finish the construction as soon as possible. But in this case, the minaret will fall immediately. But now, since enough time has passed and the foundation has matured properly, construction can be continued and the minaret will last centuries." And his words were restrained. The minaret has been adorning Bukhara to this day for about 900 years. In addition, this is only structure in Bukhara on which Genghis Khan did not raise a sword during the conquest. They say that when Genghis Khan arrived in Bukhara and visited the square, all his subordinates and soldiers bowed. When the great Khan looked at the top of the minaret, his headdress fell. He had to get down from his horse and kneel to raise his headdress. Genghis Khan considered this as a sign that the minaret made him bow and therefore this structure was preserved. In the old days, the minaret was used for 3 purposes. The 48-meter minaret was used to call for prayer. Muezzins, people who called for prayer, climbed to the top using 104 steps of minaret and were reciting prayer clarion, adhan. The second function was a survey of the city and outskirts. Soldiers were on duty at the top and watched to the outskirts of the city. And the last function was the function of lighthouse, helping travelers and traders find the right path to the city. At the moment, the minaret is not used for draft. This function is now carried out by microphones and loudspeakers. The ensemble is completed by the majestic Mir Arab Madrasa, one of the largest in Central Asia and the second largest in Bukhara.
The Mir Arab Madrasa was built in the middle of 16th century by the order of Ubaidullah Khan, who was the ruler of Bukhara from Shaybani dynasty. It was built in honor of his spiritual teacher, whose name was Abdullah Yamani, so he was from Yemen, but his nickname was Mir Arab.
The madrasa operates to this day and also functioned during the Soviet period. In the USSR, it was the only active Islamic educational institution. Young men from all 15 republics who wanted to get an Islamic education came to Bukhara to realize their dreams. More gifted students were sent to Cairo or to Tehran to continue their studies and obtain higher education. Nowadays, there is also the highest male madrasa Mir Arab in Bukhara, opened at the initiative of the current president Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Education in the madrasa lasts 4 years, and in addition to the religious sciences, all secular sciences are also taught over here. The facade of the madrasa is decorated with mosaics and mayolika in the Bukhara style of that era, with the influence of elements of architecture of the Timurid epoch. The inner corridor separates the main courtyard from the street and leads in 2 directions: the mosque and the mausoleum in which Mir Arab himself was buried and his apprentice at his feet. It means Ubaidullah Khan himself. The madrasa consists of 114 rooms, which is equal to the number of surahs, means chapters, in Holy Quran. At the moment, all the conditions are created for students: electricity, water, kitchens, heating, internet, and much more. Madrasa is rightfully considered as one of the most prestigious in the world, since it has been functioning almost continuously since the 16th century. Today, in noble Bukhara, in addition to the 2 male ones, there is also a female madrasa where girls can freely get an Islamic education and study aspects of Islam and the Arabic language. Dear friends, our online tour of the Poi Kalan complex has come to an end. Hope you enjoyed watching and look forward to new releases.